Okay. What is... I thought the reason that everything was, like, rocks... Rocks and water levels and, uh... you know, giant spike walls was because this was an ancient civilization. But now we're just back to high tech. I mean, I know the whole thing with this game is like the ancient civilizations were actually more technologically advanced than us, but I thought maybe this one was actually old enough to where they weren't technologically advanced, but nope. They're still smart. So there is an anima relic in these ruins. So ancient people worship meaningless things too, huh? Who's that? What'd you say? Say something I understand. Who are you? Get out of my head. Rico, are you okay? I've seen that shape somewhere before. Wasn't that Rico's gear? So it looks like it was your turn, Rico. Well, anyway, we'll soon see when we go outside. Oh my god, look at that gear. Whoa, what the... Hey, bro. Oh my god. It's been a long time no see, bro. Hammer, is that you? What are you doing in that outfit? I was finally able to get it. Super strength, just like you, bro. It feels so good being one with your gear. Krellian did this for me. Anyway, just leave that gear and Miss Ellie for me. Resistance is useless. I'm much too powerful for you now. What are you saying, Hammer? What? You're not handing them over? I see. Then I'll just have to use force and take the girl and the gear from you. Stop it, Hammer. Even you, champ, won't win against me now. Here I come. Why is he so tiny now? What happened, dude? Hammer is such an interesting story. Like, there were so many comments on the Hammer episode of people saying, like, the Hammer moment was the worst moment in the game. But I feel like that's what they wanted. Like, they really wanted to throw everyone for a loop by having Hammer be evil in the end. It's like... It's basically like a WWE style heel turn where it's like you get everyone to love the character and then turn them evil. I don't know, like, I guess it could have been done better, but honestly, I kind of like how out of nowhere it is. Like, it does make it really shocking, because Hammer doesn't seem like the type of guy that would care about power and care about being as strong as everyone else, you know? But that's what makes it kind of cool, is that, like, you're really not expecting it. It feels like he's been harboring these feelings inside this whole journey, and, like, we never knew about it. And then it kind of came out of nowhere. So honestly, I think it's a really good evil turn. It's just kind of a shame because Hammer's a cool character and then he just turns into me want power. But I don't know, there's something cool about it. There's something cool about how out of nowhere it is, you know? It makes me want to go back and read Hammer's dialogue and see if there's any, like, little clues as to him, like... I mean, weren't there like several moments where Hammer was like, oh, never mind, dude. Forget I said that. Like, now I'm starting to think, like, weren't there moments where he was like talking about Faye's gear and then he was like, never mind. Now I really want to go back and read his dialogue. There's got to be some like hints. If there's at least a couple hints to him like wanting power, then I feel like it's a really good heel turn. Like, really good. If there isn't, and it's just completely out of nowhere, then I think it's still kind of cool that it's a shock, but maybe it could have been done better. My eyes! Faye's the normal guy who becomes the hero. Hammer is the normal guy who can't overcome his fear and ends up becoming the villain. Yeah. I think it's really good, and it's really sad, which I think it was supposed to be. It's really sad to see Hammer go this route, you know? What is going on? You know what? I haven't used this in a while. Great. Just keeps growing. I love that he's like just this crazy mutation now. I do nothing. Yeah. Attack level 3. I think it's time to get into business. Might also be time to fix our defense. does it say we all have 20% armor loss even though I... Or is that just mine? I guess that's just mine. What the? Camera's broken. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I need to get Faye's armor back. Ellie is not having a good time. I wish there was more I could do other than just these two attacks. I mean, they're really cool. Yeah, well, we all got our Xenogears, so that everything kind of inflated a bit. But even before we got the Xenogears, we got some equipment that had like a lot of HP. How's it going, Kume? I have a really bad feeling. Did we get out of here? Should we try to run? I guess so. That's my bro, far too strong. I love his picture and how just grotesque he looks. Even for me, just when I thought I finally got powerful enough to beat you too. Hammer. Champ, promise me you'll go back to Nortune one day. You are the next in line to be the Kaiser. You knew? Don't underestimate the power of my information network. But it's no use now. For a bit player like me, this is probably the end. I deserve... Hammer! Hammer disappeared into the chasm with a look of satisfaction. Was he happy because he had been able to attain it? His brief moment of power. Hammer's smile, was that the look of joy from attaining power, or was it the look of relief from the pain that is brought upon him by his mutation? Ultimately, we had no other choice but to defeat our friend, Hammer, for the sake of our own survival. Was there any other way around it? I've never felt that fighting was so futile until now. Ellie cried continuously. She hated herself for not having the power to be able to do anything to help him. When I saw her like that, I couldn't help thinking, I can no longer allow her to fight like this. Interesting look into Ellie's character, because Hammer murdered her mother, and she's still crying over him dying. She did that earlier too with someone. I forget who, because it was 2 weeks ago, but... We returned to Ignis, feeling that this had become much more than we could bear. I love that they're sowing the seeds of her being kind of like the mother of the planet by like caring for all life no matter what. She's like shown that throughout the whole game, although not at the beginning, but ever since she like changed. Ever since she became her true self again. What do you want, Ramses? You. If you didn't exist, that's why I must get rid of you. Only then will I be able to beat him. What do you think you're doing, Ramses? That's absurd. Do you think you can neutralize my power? Of course he can. He was made to be able to do so. Krellian, surely you're not on their side now. Oh, really now? I don't care about a group full of geezers who are so obsessed with clinging onto their dear little lives that they had to resort to turning themselves into data on the SOL 9000 in order to survive. That's not why your existence obstructs me from reaching my goal. That's all. Haven't you been working for humanity's future? For humans to live together? Or live longer? That is why I assisted you. Yes, that's right. I try to lead the people in my own way. That hasn't changed in the least. Krellian, what's gotten into you? Kill him, Ramses. Ramses? Oh! Lost his head. So, Cain is dead? Yes. The final fate for one bound within everlasting flesh. If only he had just accepted our logical ideals, too. A fitting end for someone who had become dominated by needless flesh. Excellent work, Krellian. Now there is nothing that can stand in the way of us accomplishing our objective. The anima relics have been awakened and have aligned with their respective animus. Dan, Joseph, Gad have each been aligned with the surface dweller as their animus. Ayuga's Asher, Ramses's Zabellum, Krellian's Judah, Sophia's Dinah. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Issachar were already aligned 500 years ago. And finally, Grof's Naphtali. All of the anima relics have now been activated. The identity of the persona mask of the mother has also become clear. The time has come. Now is the time to open the door to God's domain to obtain the fleshly body and the wisdom of God. The time of the true awakening to carry us to new horizons. Yes, the time of the gospel has come. Now, humans, extol the awakening of God. Suddenly the howling erupted. Even the people who had not mutated were being turned into wells. They howled out like war cries, as if to call out to something. That was because Ramses had been manipulated into assassinating the emperor. Now, with nothing else holding them back, the ministry had put into use the geisha key, the effect of which was to alter those people who had been destined by God. These people destined by God, regardless of whether they were surface dwellers or Solarians, began to change shape one after the other. The howling was the people who had filled the earth, calling out to God. Once humans have filled the earth, God will awaken from his long sleep, and the awakening of Mahanan, the paradise in the sky, will soon follow. The true meaning of what the ministry had spoken, the true nature of the legend, was at last beginning to be realized. This is what they meant when they said, once humans have filled the earth. Eventually, Mahanan, the resting place of God, woke from its long slumber and began to rise, almost as if responding to the call of the people. It appeared before us in all its majestic glory. There's something weird about... Also, that is not how you spell majestic. There's something weird about him talking about this just sitting in a chair, like... So anyways, everyone was dying, and... You know... And that's the story. Kind of looks like a weapon. Sim! Is it just an airship? No shot, it's an airship. Like a battleship. All good games have airships. Solaris. Gazel Ministry sent a massive force there to obtain God and his wisdom. But by now, neither the nation of Solaris nor the organization known as Gebler existed anymore. The only thing that was left there was an innumerable accumulation of weapons. Almost all the Solarians had been transfigured into weapons. The Gazel Ministry now reigned over them as their commanders. There was no way we could allow God or God's wisdom to fall into the hands of the Ministry. We decided to assemble all the forces we could and head toward Mahanan. It was a perilous battle. There was no guarantee that we would make it back alive. We were to carry out the plan at dawn. Hence, I had to stiffen my resolve concerning her. So, remind me, because I don't remember from 2 weeks ago, why were we collecting the relics? Because, like, obviously us collecting the relics is what caused Mahanan to appear. So why were we... Was it just because we knew that they were going to get them anyways? Or, like, what was the idea there? I want to say that... I want to say that we were basically just getting it before they did. Because we knew it was going to happen anyways. I feel like that's what the plan was. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Right. Okay. That's what I thought. Wait a minute. You want me to stay here? No, I'm going with you. No, it's too dangerous. Why? I've been in many dangerous situations. This isn't the first time. I said no, we can't take you. Please understand. No, I want to go. We've been fighting together all this time. And suddenly you're telling me not to go? I just don't get it. This isn't like any other fight. It's a battle for the wisdom created by God. It's life or death. Just like every other fight. Whoever controls it becomes the true dominator of the world. It's obvious the ministry will bring the strongest possible troops. There's no guarantee you'll come back alive. That's exactly why I want to go. You don't have the slightest idea. What don't I understand? If the enemy were only the ministry or just mechanical weapons, it would be okay. But most of the enemies will be made up of what were once humans. Humans just like you and I. I saw them at those facilities. Gears that were made out of humans. They were the same as Hammer. Could you now destroy them after knowing this? In order to save ourselves, can you truly say that you could kill those who were once our friends? So, do you still want to go now? Well, you can't even kill one person. Your presence would be a burden during the fight. You just get in the way. That was a long hallway. Hey, Faye, don't you think you went a little too far there? We cannot blame her. At least we should understand her feelings. I know how Ellie feels. I knew she wouldn't have listened to me if I had just said you're not coming. Seeing as she has worked together with us for such a long time and all. That's why I had to explain it to her like that. The people gathered in Nissan need Ellie. She's got to realize how much people are depending on her. I can't put her in a dangerous situation. But the way you said it was a little harsh. You didn't have to be so cold. She was crying, you know? But I am sure she realizes that. I agree. Maybe you are the one who doesn't understand. Me? I don't understand. A lady's heart? She wants to go, to be with you, Faye, until the end. Yeah. If I were you, I'd hold her tight and say, let's go together, just like that. Really? No, I mean, young master, don't overdo yourself now. Ah, shut up. Anyhow, why don't you go ask her to come with you? Whether she'll go or not, you should express your feelings in words. If you really care about her, you have to go tell her. Express your feelings, right? I didn't mean... Too late now, everyone knows it. You are not being true to yourself, are you? I agree. Faye, say it, straight out. Go ahead, go chase after her. What are you waiting for? I'm confused by this scene. Also, where does she go? This way? I get what they were trying to do here. But it feels kind of forced. Having Faye randomly just be like it's not random. I get what they were going for. Like, this is the big final battle, and there's always this moment where the main hero decides that the main heroine shouldn't go because he thinks that it's potentially the end and they're gonna lose, right? So, like, Faye's lost faith in himself, and so he's taking that out on her by saying, like, you can't go. Basically to, like, save her because he doesn't think he can save himself, right? So, like, that's a very common trope. But what I'm confused about is, like, the part where he said, you know, you're going to be killing humans. Can you even do that? You've never killed a single human in your life. How could you? You know, you're just going to get in our way. I'm confused as to whether or not that was him just saying that to, like, get her to run away. Because that's what it seemed like he said. Like, afterwards, he was like, the only reason I said that was so that she would listen. I didn't actually mean it. It's kind of like what he said to the other guys. But also, I feel like he did kind of mean it. It's like, I'm a little confused. Like, I wonder if they're going to clear that up here. Because I'm not actually sure. It felt like he meant it, because he did make that realization during the Soylent System thing. By the way, someone pointed out in the comments, because I had said something about how, like, the battle transition randomly changed from glass breaking to, like, the weird water physics looking thing. And I had asked, like, when did that happen and why did that happen? And someone commented and said that it was because that Faye made the realization during the Soylent System mission that they had been basically consuming human remains this entire time. And so, like, his whole, like, mentality about the world changed in that moment. And that's why the battle transitions changed. He explained it better in the comment, but I found that really interesting. Like, it's a cool little, like, detail that you wouldn't pick up on until maybe your second playthrough. But if he made that big realization, why didn't we really, like, I don't feel like that really came through in the text. Like, there was obviously a moment where he was, like, disgusted, but it didn't feel like he completely changed his entire mentality about humanity in that moment. It just felt like he was disgusted, and it was like, to me, it felt like yet another reason to hate Solaris. Not like that was the moment that everything changed. It felt more like it was just another reason, like just another thing in the laundry list of terrible things that Solaris had done, you know? So, feels kind of out of place, but at the same token is like a cool detail. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm be a man. I'm interested to see where this goes, because I don't feel like, I don't know. Let's see what he says. Let's see what happens. Sorry about what happened. Forgive me, but I want to explain. Now, for the first time, people on both Earth and Solaris are becoming one. But then, not all of them are strong like the crew of this ship, or the people in Shavat. Even we almost lose sight of our future at times, so you can imagine what regular people go through. That's why people need someone like you to depend on, as a light to guide us. You freed the hearts of the people that have been used as tools by the Ministry for hundreds of years. Ellie, it was you, and now your body doesn't just belong to you anymore. That's why I can't let you be in any danger, and that's why I don't want you to fight anymore. Okay, so it really was just a cover-up. It's funny, isn't it? Huh? We used to be enemies, but now we're together like this. In the beginning, I think I saw myself in you. We seemed to overlap, you being in a similar situation as I was in. When I was with you, I didn't feel alone or apprehensive. That's why I thought I liked you. But it wasn't that. I simply didn't have the courage to look at my true self. I turned to you to run away from it all. I mistook that for love. But it's different now. I can face my own problems. I am me, and you are you. It has all become clear to me now. I also learned that I really do need you. It's not because I need you as a sanctuary for my problems. I need you because I truly love you. Ellie. I know what you're saying, Faye. I know why you're so concerned for my safety. But you know, I'm scared. I fear we may never see each other again. I just have this feeling. Don't worry, I won't die. No, it's not that. It's something completely different. It's as if I'm being torn apart by something I can't resist, that I'm no longer me. Even if you come back safely, it just feels so uneasy. That is why I need to go with you. I can't bear to be away from you. I feel the same way, ever since the time I met you in that forest. I think it's the same feeling that you've been having. I was also running to you. But I have to solve my own problems. I can't throw my problems onto you. There is another me. Id is within me. I fear that at any moment, Id may awaken within me. You're the only one that has been able to keep me from giving in to Id. It was because you were always by my side that I was still able to keep from losing myself. I promise you that I will return. So, that is, Ellie, I want you to be my reason to return, to be my home that I can return to. Ellie, if you will wait for me to come back, even if we are in totally different places, as long as you will stay by my side, I know I'll be able to do anything. Oh, Faye. We get a cutscene? Oh, they played us. I wonder how, what happened here? Why is she naked and I'm not? What happened? Wait a second. Are you going now? Yeah, sorry, did I wake you? What are the other characters doing? They're all waiting for the what? Time is... What happened here? It's okay, I've been awake all along. All along? Uh-huh. I was watching over you while you slept. What day is it? And before I realized, it was morning. Well, I'm off. Alright then, do be careful. Yeah, I will. What are they yapping about? Oh, could you hold on to this for me? What is this? Is this a pendant? I don't know whose it is. It seems it was on me when I was brought into Lahan. It may be mine, or it could be... It could be... Oh, nothing. Will you just hold on to it for me? Alright, I'll hold on to it for you. Thanks. Well, I guess it's goodbye. Oh, Faye. Yeah? Thank you. I'm confused. Ellie, are you okay about this? Don't you want to be with him? Yes, but it's because I believe in him. Just being close to a person is not in itself an indication of love, is it? But men are selfish. When something big happens, they say, it's too dangerous, you can't come. They treat women like we are weaklings. Although, it is true I can't help Bart and friends much more. That's not true. Everyone wants someone special waiting for them. Someone who will protect a place they can return to. If you don't have that peace of mind, then you would not be able to get anything done. Men try to tough it out as much as they can, and then some. They're cute the way they do that, aren't they? Yeah, you're right. Anyway, we have things we have to do now. And while we do them, let's pray that everyone comes back safely. To God? No. To your own innermost feelings that everyone believes in. What's wrong? I knew it. Yes, that must be it. What? Ellie, it's like everyone says. You must be a reincarnation of Sophia. You have no way of knowing the Nissan sect's teachings, but what you say, well, it's exactly the same as what Sophia always said. Yes, that might be it. The First time I visited here, I had the most amazing feeling. Familiar, sad. Like I had visited here many times in my dreams. I know where each room is and what's in them. I just know I must have been here in the distant past. Before, if you had spoken of this, I'd have brushed it off with a laugh. But now I can more or less believe it. The things I couldn't do then, I'm probably trying to do now. Things you couldn't do. Yes, things I couldn't do. Can I pause here? Man, I tell you what, like, game cooked. Like, it just shocks me. It shocks me so much that there's so much going on in this game. Politics, religion, gears, you know, like, everything. Everything that's gone on this whole game. And they were still able to tell a really good romantic story. Like, a very mature, well-written, well-thought-out romantic story that actually feels real and not just falls into tropes. Yeah, that was awesome. Like, I'm thinking back to, like, all the moments that they've had, like that goofy moment on the raft, the debris in the ocean, and their first meeting, and pretty much everything that's happened up to this point. And yeah, it's just this really, like, I kind of relate to it a lot, honestly. I kind of relate to that feeling of being confused as to whether or not the person I'm in love with them because I love relationship or I love them. You know what I mean? I remember going through that as a high schooler, of thinking, like, do I actually love this person, or do I just love the idea of being in a relationship, and I need, you know, I need a relationship to feel complete and to be protected and to feel these emotions that I need to feel, or do I actually love this specific person? And that's a really, like, deep, thought-provoking thing. That is tackled in a really cool way here, because it's believable. It's very believable that Faye, who has no idea of his past, and Ellie, who has no idea who she is anymore, would go through that feeling of, like, maybe I only loved Faye because I needed somebody, because I don't even know who I am, right? And then for her to have that moment where she was like, you know, I felt that, I went through that, I got to the end of that, and I realized that I still love you. It's like such a powerful moment. And then Faye kind of, I realize now why that cutscene was the way it was. Faye was finally coming to the realization that he does love her and not just the thought of her. And then immediately panics because he feels like he's sending her to her death, basically. And then on top of that, there's the whole thing in his head of, like, we need her to survive if the world is going to survive afterwards. So he's kind of got both in his head. He's like, on the one hand, I really love her and don't want her to die. And on the other hand, I want her to survive for the well-being of the planet. So, and then I really like how they both admitted to the fact that they wanted her to come. Like, that's why I was confused at first. I was like, wait, why is she staying behind? But I guess, like, off screen, they decided she was going to stay. But right before it faded to blue and came back and they were in bed, they both had basically made the realization that they wanted her to go with. Like, he was like, I need you to come with for strength, and she was like, I need to go because I can't imagine a place without you. And then that's where the conversation ended. So I thought, like, oh, she's coming. And then afterwards, she didn't. And that was just a really cool moment because, like, they both admitted to themselves that she needed to go, but then also decided that she couldn't go. It's like, what a cool moment, you know? I also feel like that cutscene of them kissing was probably like something they made really early in development. And I feel like this whole part was really important to them. And when they got to, obviously, because it's like the biggest story part of the game. So when they got to the second disc, I think the decision was like, we need to skip ahead so that we can get to this part and still make it. Because now it feels like we're back to disc 1. You know, like we're actually having big dialogue parts with characters. We're letting things actually sit. We're having cutscenes. We're having, you know, the camera work is back to being like it was on disc 1. So I do feel like we're back to disc 1 style for at least a moment here. It feels like they had to rush to get to this point, but now they've gone back to taking their time and doing it right. Hopefully it stays like this for the rest of the game, but I'm not holding my breath. But it does feel like we're in that part where, like, they knew this was important and they had to do this part right, even if it meant rushing the part before this. Driving back the Solarian Interceptor forces, we took to the floating continent Mahanan. It's a continent? It looks more like just a ship. It was the central hull of a colossal spacecraft with a diameter of at least 40 kelts. Oldridge. Judging from the condition of the hull, we estimated the ship was thousands of years old. But it's still moving. It was determined by examining the inside of the wreckage that some kind of accident occurred on this ship about 10,000 years ago, which forced it to crash onto our planet. Alien beings that came to our planet from a far-off galaxy aeons ago. Could it possibly have been that our ancestors were the passengers of this ship and had crash-landed here on this planet? Seeking God and his divine wisdom, Raziel's tree, which it is said lie here in Mahanan, we proceeded further. So I've used Ellie the entire game and now I have to not use her. I don't know who I want to use. I want to use Emeralda to try her out, but, like, this feels like I shouldn't be trying new things right now, like we're about to go into the big battle. So I feel like I should probably stick with, like, Bart or Billy. Also, interesting how everyone's levels are, like, perfectly aligned, even though I haven't used them in forever. I think I'll just stick with Bart. Thank you, Clipless, and thank you, Super Orange, and thank you, Darks. Thank you, guys. I mean, it doesn't really... Well, I guess it does, because Bart has, like, no death blows. Other than that, though, he's on level, and all I have to do is give him equipment and he'll be all set. But his death blows are gonna suck. Blocks EP absorb attacks. Give him the Wonder Whip. I could give him the Death Blower too, and then he'd probably have some death blows just from that. Man, I forgot how much of a tank Bart is. Although now that everyone is in their big gears, I guess he's not much of a tank anymore, but when we first got him, he was like insane. Can I save? It doesn't give me an option to save, but I wonder if I can save if I just go into the menu.